Sorry about that. This is part 2. I thought someone was coming in my room, so I shut the camera off. Yeah, I talked for like 33 minutes. I can talk for another maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm done for part 2. I don't do parts anymore because my phone can go for like 3-4 hours straight. Whereas my other phone that I had, every like 33 minutes, the camera would cut. That's why I always cut the camera after like 30 minutes. But now I don't have to do that anymore. I can just make it a 1-hour video, a 2-hour video, yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing my takeout on Montana's for the Great Escape with Keanu Reeves, Scarlett Johansson, Ben Affleck, after they sign their contracts. And for Xanus, I'm going to do one at Boston Pizza. Boston Pizza is better than Montana's, right? It's better than Montana's, but I mean... Actually, you can argue Montana's. They're both good. Montana's has a higher rating than Boston Pizza, according to Google. Boston Pizza has a 3.5 rating out of 5. They have amazing food. Yeah, it's a bar restaurant. So I'll be doing my takeout at Boston Pizza. See, the restaurants are like this. It's a bar restaurant. See that? They have a patio outside. Yeah, it's a nice restaurant. That's where I'll be doing my takeout after I sign all the stars for Xanus. And they have amazing pizza. Their pizza. They have amazing pizza, Boston Pizza. They have hamburgers too. Hamburgers with fries. They have salad. They have wings. All that nice stuff. What are you mainly going to get, Ivan? I'm probably going to get their signature dish, which is the pizza. Their signature dish is the pizza at Boston Pizza, but they also have hamburgers. Their hamburgers are pretty good with their fries. They have wings. They have garlic bread. They have spaghetti. They have pasta too and salad. They have good stuff. They sell beer and alcohol. It's a bar restaurant. And that'll be trained too. The takeouts will be trained too, yeah. Comes in. John Mayer will tell Oscar Isaac, Daisy Ray, Adam Driver, yeah. After I signed my contract, Ivan took me out to nice dinner, man. He took you out to nice dinner? Yeah, he took me out to nice dinner after I signed my massive deal. Holy shit, that's fucking cool. That's a nice perk, yeah. It's nice to take the stars out to dinner after they sign their contracts, right? You take them out to nice dinner, and after that, you party up in your house or your yacht. You do a party, like a 6-hour party, man. Everyone gets drunk. It's crazy, yeah. My company will blow all the way out of the water. But Hollywood, the executives do take the actors out to dinner too, but But my company, I'm taking everyone who I sign. I take them out to dinner. The crewmen, the cast, I take them all to dinner after they sign their contracts. Some Sarah. Whereas Hollywood, they don't take the crewmen out to dinner. Maybe some of them, but not the whole entire crewmen. All the entire crewmen, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit crewmen for Xanus, I'm taking them out to dinner. As well as the cast, yeah. That's how nice I am. And Ivan was nice enough to even take even the crewmen out to dinner, yeah. Even once the crewmen sign their massive $150K deal, I take them out to dinner too. Except I won't be signing them. The presidents will be signing the rest of the crewmen. I only sign the visual effects guys, the cinematographers, the actors, and the 4 groups of crewmen first year. And then the 7th team I signed to, the photographers and all them head chefs, I sign those guys. Tony, I'll sign with the head chefs, Eric Rezahaki. Everyone else, the president, signed the rest of the crewmen. But I will be with them. I'll be eating dinner with them. And I'll be partying up with all of them. Some Sarah. So Boston Pizza will be booked like for, I don't know, like 3-4 months straight. That's something crazy. 1,500 crewmen you have to sign. You do a takeout every day. You're looking at like 3, 4, 5 months of takeout. Something crazy. So every day, 5 days a week, me and my sister are doing takeouts with like all these people. And we're partying it up like for 5 months straight. That's something crazy. Getting drunk, yeah. And that's why the 17th, you only party out with me twice a week. And then the other 3 days, you have to spend time with your family. You can eat with us, but I want you to spend time with your family. It's not fair. You can't party it up 5 days a week, 5 months straight. You can get stomach wounds, stomach ulcers, man. Your stomach can bleed. Whereas I can drink every day and my body will be fine because I have the you don't have the genetics that I have, man. I can live forever. I have the God genetics. You don't have the God genetics. It's dangerous to drink 5 days a week, 5 months straight. That's very dangerous for you guys, but it's not for me. See what I'm saying? I drink every day of the year. I smoke every day of the year. I'm fine. My body's fine, yeah. See what I'm saying? Because I have the second cup. I have a second cup, an extra. I have an advanced enhanced immune system that you guys don't have. Yeah, I have sex with a woman who's trash. I will not get an STD because I mix my eggs. My body fights the virus. Yeah. Whereas you guys, when you have sex with people, you get burned, right? You get STDs. Yeah, you guys are trash. You're extra from Earth. Whereas I'm from the sky. I'm holy, man. I got my fresh what? My fresh area, right? Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm going to tell the secretaries to tell the actors' agents, don't eat too much as Ivan will be taking you out to dinner. Ivan, Peter, and VJ, or Ivan, Mel, and VJ will be taking you guys out to dinner. Yeah. And the 7 team has to book VIP like 5 days a week. You have to tell Boston Pizza, yeah, Ivan wants to do his takeouts at your restaurant. We have a group of like 25 people. We need to book VIP for like 5-6 months straight. Every week you have to book it. 5 days a week. We'll be doing takeouts at Boston Pizza for like 5 months. I'm gonna be making the restaurant like $200,000 in profit, man. Just for my takeouts alone. Boost the economy, which is good obviously for Boston Pizza, that restaurant, right? Yeah. Because it'll be costing me a good $1,200 a night. $1,200 to $1,500 a night for all those 24 people. But it's pocket change if you have a $1.8 million budget, right? It's pocket change. I'll give the card to my significant other, the business card, and she pays for the takeouts. Like, hey, sweetie, I'll give you the money. I'll give you the card. You keep in your purse the business card, and when we're done, you pay for the takeouts. Some saying. Only me and my significant other can bring the business card with us because it's our money. The team can't bring their business card with them outside of work. It stays in the office. So while you're making all these business calls, you have access to my business card, but you have to put it back in the safe. You can't bring it with you home. I trust you, but I don't trust you that much, man. You're not bringing my money with you home. Never do that, man. You always have to put it in the safe. Only me and my other can take the business card. The only time I'm ever going to take the business card is when I do the takeouts. And after that, the business card stays in the safe. It stays in the safe, I'm sorry. There's $1.8 million in there. You have to make sure that it stays in the safe. That way no one steals it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I put $1.8 million of my money into that card for the movie. You got to be careful. I'm sorry. Yeah. Edris, please, man. Need your help, man. The world buddy guys, I'm going to give them your word money, man. Don't worry about it. I'm saying, I'm not giving you word. If I ask you for word, you wouldn't give me either. I'm not giving you word. Edris Alba is selfish. He doesn't give word. It's actually funny. All the A's are going to be begging him for word, man. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, man. But Edris Alba will not give word either. He's selfish, man. He doesn't want the actors to be like him. He's selfish, Edris Alba, yeah. It's actually funny. Some saying? Yeah. Yeah. That's why those Xanus hackers are gonna be legends. They're gonna be fighting all these demons, man. John Maega, especially the Northerns. John Maega, Jimo Hansu, Don Chu are gonna be badass in the movie because they're Northern, and the Northerns are bred fighters. They trained in the Xanian arts. When you read the book, I have something called the Xanian arts. So Tactius was trained in the Xanian arts. Cassius and Miramis trained Tactius and Tacitonians since they were kids, man. And Cassius and Miramis are trained in the Xanian arts, whereas the Southerns are not trained in Xanian arts. That's why they're not as good fighters. But I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I mean when you read Volume 2. But the Southerns are not trained. As they're fighting, it might be a little bit more sloppy, whereas the Northerns are trained fighters. And the Wolves train too. When you read the book, the Wolves train too. I don't have a name for it for the Wolves, but Aratat and them do training too and everything. Yeah, they train too. Aratat's a badass fighter. Morale, the general of the army, is a badass fighter. Bo, the pit watcher, is a badass fighter. When you read the book, they're all badass fighters. Fool, Aratat's son, badass fighter too. Yeah. As we're looking at a masterpiece of a movie, yeah. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. I wrote an amazing book, man. Yeah. So Aratat's the king of the south. Yeah, Aratat's the king of the south. He's the king of Barak, the Master Wolf King of Barak. They call him the Devil Wolf King when you read the book. The Wolf King, the Devil Wolf King, the king of the South. Fool is his son. He's the prince of the South and the prince of Barak. Morale is the general of the army. Is a general, and Bo is the pit watcher. He watches over the pit. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. And Tactius the first is the king of the north, the king of Xanus. Tactius the second, which is me, he's the prince of the north and the prince of Xanus. And his mother Sarah, Queen Sarah, is the queen of the north, the queen of Xanus. And Lithius is Tactius's half sister. She's not part of the she's part of the royal family, but she's not the heir because she doesn't come from Tactius the first. So Tacitonius and Cassius are royalty. They're part of the royal family, but they're not the heirs. The only way they'll be the heirs if Tactius died. But when you read the book, they're not the heirs because they don't come from Tactius the first. They're Tactius's cousins. They're royalty, so you're gonna see John Maega. He's royalty. He wears the elves in Lord of the Rings. They wear these nice clothes. You see John Maega. He wears these nice clothes in the movie. Idris Elba wears these nice clothes because they're royalty. Jimo Hansu wears these nice clothes because they're royalty. And you see me wearing nice clothes, I'm royalty too. I'm the Prince of Xanus, man. Like, yeah, sick movie. And the North is holy, and the South is cursed. Why is it cursed? I don't want to spoil this over. You'll see when we read the book. I don't want to ruin the plot for you, man. Yeah. The South is cursed, and the North is holy. Samsara. Ephesus is the king. Is the king bat of the mountain. He's the king of Gilead's Pass and the Gilead's Mountains. The Gilead city, the Gilead's cavern. He's the king of the cavern and the king of the mountains. When you read the book, you see what I mean. Ephesus is the king bat of the mountains in the south. So Eretat's the king of the south, but whenever you pass, once you hit the mountain regions, tens of miles away, miles and miles away, that is no longer his territory. That's Ephesus' territory. He's the king of the mountains. So everyone kind of has their own territory. Yeah, it's a sick book, man. I wrote an amazing book. Priest Ivan, the king out of the mountains. I'm like, yeah, Priest. Like, holy shit, look at that amazing movie. Like Moria and all the civilians are all scared. Like Prince of Egypt. Holy shit, I'm looking at an amazing movie. This is Brother of the Rings. I know, Priest. Brother of the Rings. Yeah. Peter is salivating over my movie. Yeah, he's blowing my ears the movie, Peter. Yeah, or Mel Gibson, right? Yeah. Yeah. And Eli is the leader of Sapphires. He's the most powerful man in the south. Knows how I qualify it. The most powerful man, not being, man in the south in terms of his wealth. Eli is wealthy, and Lithia is his spoiled daughter, and Mary and Belle live with Lithia in the house, and they're also spoiled too. But even though Eli is rich, he's not as rich as like Tactius and Tacitonius and all them, because he's not a northern. He's not royalty. Tactius is fucking rich because he's royalty. He's a prince of Xanus, man. Whereas Eli is rich, but he's not the prince, right? He's filthy rich, but his wealth is not Tactius' wealth. Tactius is wealthier than Eli, but Eli's wealthy too. So you're gonna see my significant other. She plays the daughter of Eli, and she's spoiled. She lives in this house. She's spoiled. Obviously, she's spoiled. Yeah. She wears like nice clothes, like Arwen and Eowyn. Yeah. Something like that. Picture something like Eowyn and Arwen for my significant other as Lithia. I can't wait to play with Lithia. Even knows, and she's all excited. Yeah. And Sapphires is the land of the blacksmiths. Cyrus is the land of the farmers. And Xanus is the royal land. Barak is the land of the master wolves. And they call them the wolves of Rak when you read the book. Because Ivan, the wolves of Rak, yeah, Eretat and them are known as the wolves of Rak. The demon wolves of Rak, yeah, the wolves of Rak. You'll see that when you read the book. A few times they call them the wolves of Rak. I'm gonna have them use that term a lot in the movie, though. I think it's cool, the wolves of Rak, yeah. Obviously. Does Eretat rule the humans in the south? No, he doesn't. It's his territory. They know it's his territory, but he doesn't rule the humans. The humans have their own customs. The people in Cyrus have their own customs. They're farmers. Eli is leader of Sapphires, and they have their own customs there in the land of the blacksmiths. But they're in Eretat's territory. It's his territory. He's the king of the south, but he doesn't rule them. Like, take them as slaves and all stuff? No. But it's his territory. Some Sarah? I was looking at an amazing book that I wrote. Yeah, I wrote a masterpiece. It's an amazing book. Yeah. And Job is Eli's hired caretaker. He's rich too, Job. In the book, he says, Eli pays me good wages. So Job is rich too. But he's not. The Southerners are not the Northerns. They're not as rich as the Northerns. Hence, when you read Volume 2, I won't spoil the story for you. Cassius and Tacitus, they make fun of Job, and Tacitus makes fun of Job and everything. The Northerns look down on the Southerns, man. They don't like the Southerns. And the Southerns don't like the Northerns either. Yeah. I was looking at a sick movie, man. A sick book, yeah. The Northerns and Southerns don't like each other, man. They don't like each other. Yeah. And the wolves hate the humans. They hate the humans with an immense passion. I don't want to tell you why they hate the wolves. You'll find out what I mean when you read the book. I won't spoil the story for you, man. You will see what I mean when you read the book. Yeah. And Tactius is not welcome in the south. Tactius is not welcome in Aratet's territory. And Aratet's not welcome in the north either. And that leads to the big plot of the story. That's why looking at masters that I wrote. And that's why a lot of wars haven't fought at the Blood Valley, because the Blood Valley is a bridge between north and south. That's why so many wars were fought there. Between the humans, the Zane army, and the wolves. You have this history of violence in the bridge between the north and the south because they're not welcoming each other's territory. But Tactius ends up leaving the walls and he ends up in the south. And that's when the story kicks off. And that's why looking at masters that I wrote a masterpiece, man. It's a fucking amazing story, yeah. And Tacitonius and Cassius and 50 men go to look for Tactius. They also end up in the south. That's all I'm going to say, and that leads to the story. And that's really an amazing book that I wrote. Yo, Ivan's a fucking genius. How'd you come up with this story, Ivan? People would tell me, Ivan, how'd you come up with this story? This is a fucking masterpiece. This is Bird of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. I'm gifted. I have the heavenly gift from above. I'm gifted, man. I'm fucking gifted, yeah. And that's why the Gates want to control my book, because they know how good it is. But they're not touching my money. This is me and my Xanus money. It's not yours. Samsara. You dupe my Xanus, I'm not going to dupe me, man. No fucking way. You're not touching my money. It's not yours. Don't hate him, saying, yeah. Samsara. Let me take my medication. What's this medication for? This medication's antipsychotics for my mental illness. I take diabetic medication and antipsychotic medication for my mental illness. Because I was diagnosed with psychosis, schizophrenia. When I went to the hospital, they diagnosed me with, yeah, Ivan, you have psychosis, schizophrenia. They told me that. Well, I have first stage. Third stage is guys who are like completely fucked up in the head. I have first stages. I'm there in the head, but I'm not 100% there. I'm a bit fucked up in the head, obviously, but I'm there. I'm talking to you now, I'm there, right? I'm just a bit, I don't know, 2% of my brain's fucked up and the rest of me is good. Yeah. It's actually funny, son. Yeah. And that's why I wrote a masterpiece, guys. Yeah, man. And next year, all my money I'm investing in my book. This year, I invested my money in my bike. Next year, all my money is going towards my book. Because the folks are going to sell the house soon. I have to get it proofread, and I have to design my cover. My book. I'm going to have a nice cover for my book. I'll show you guys. Yeah, nice fucking cover. Where is that picture again? This one here, yeah. A nice book. I want it to be something like this, my book. With trees is fucking nice. Look at that. That's my idea from. I'm going to show the cover artist this picture here. I want it like this, except it's red, not brown. It says The Last Hope for Xanus by Ivan Omer, edited by the woman who edits my book. And Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 at the front. Again, nice cover. My book. Samsara. And the crows are the spies of the south, and the eagles are the watchers of the north. Peter's like, Ivan, the watchers of the north, and then the spies of the south. Yes. Looking at a sick movie, Ivan, I know. He's like, I've looking at an amazing movie. I know. He's salving over my movie, and he becomes blind by his grief for the movie. Yeah, Peter. Ivan, can I get more of that box set? And I'm like, no, Peter, this is enough. $650 is enough. Stop being greedy. And the Southerns fear Eritat. They fear the wolves. Hence why most Southerns have never been to the North. The only ones who have been to the North are the ones who deliver the weapons and all that stuff. They see a glimpse of the North, but most Southerns have never been to the North. But their dream is to live in the North, but they know the path to get there is dangerous. You have if you take the main route, you might get killed by the wild crows and Eritat spies. It's very rare you're gonna spot a wolf. All the wolves live in Barak, but you could spot a wolf, and if not, you can get killed by the wild crows and Eritat spies who roam around the south. Or you take the secondary route, but you have to go through the Gileas city. But that's where all the demon bats live, and if the bats see the humans, they'll kill the humans. They don't like the humans. And also, the Southerns don't know the Northerns don't like them. The Southerns are not welcome in the North. The Northerns don't like the Southerns. Yeah. The Northerns don't like the Southerns. The Southerns don't like them. The Southerns see the Northerns as arrogant people. They think they're so full of themselves. And the Northerns see the Southerns as lesser people. It's actually funny when you read the book. You have this kind of conflict with the Southerns and the Northerns. That's why Peter's like, looking at a masterpiece. The Northern and Southern don't like each other. I'm like, yeah, Peter. He's like, holy shit. Like an amazing book. Yeah, what a masterpiece, man. Amazing book. Bear Lord of the Rings, guys. It's a sick book. A little raw in some sections, but most of it's top notch. It's an amazing book. I'm giving you a heads up. Some of my books, some sections of my book, a little raw in there, but I mean, still sick. I'd rather keep a bit of my rawness in there and my DNA in my book than have someone copy edit my book and ruin my story and change a bunch of things in my story. I don't want anyone touching my story. Just fix my punctuations, grammar, sentence structures, and spelling and all stuff, but don't touch my story. There's two forms of editing. There's copy editing and there's proofreading. Proofreading is just punctuation, spelling, sentence structures, all that stuff. Copy editing is when the person actually fixes your story. They change things in your story. I'm not going to have my book copy edited. No, I'm going to have it proofread. It'll cost me a good maybe $2,000 for that. To get it proofread next year, Samsara. Yeah. My ebook I'll sell for $22. And my print for $85. That's a good deal for you guys. So if you don't want to pay the $85, just pay your cheap $22. You can read the ebook on your laptop, on your iPad. You get your beer. I recommend you get your beer. All you guys who drink, right? Get your beer, get your wine, order your food, and you read the book, and I take you for a ride. You got a sick book, man. An amazing story. Yeah. Sometimes I read them, and I can't believe I wrote this, man. This book is fucking interesting. It's sick. Yeah, it's a sick book. I read my book like 5-6 times now. I reread it like many times. And every time I reread it, I always laugh and I'm hooked. This is sick. Yeah, it's a sick book, my book. It's an amazing book, yeah. Better than Lord of the Rings, better than Game of Thrones, man. You think Game of Thrones is good, Xanus is better than Game of Thrones. It's the best fantasy read you're ever going to have in your life, man. It's an amazing book, man. Yeah, man. How's my going to be shocked? Ivan, did you really write that book on your own? I'm like, yeah, I did, sweetie. She's like, holy shit. That's such an amazing story. I love the character of Lithia, Ivan, I know. It's such a unique story, Ivan. Holy shit, you're gifted, I know. You know what I'm saying? How much money did you make off your book, by the way? I'm like, holy shit, this girl's fucking evil. No, seriously, Ivan, how much money did you make? Yeah, I made like $17 million. You made $17 million off your book royalties? I'm like, yeah, I did. She's like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? By the way, honey, you gonna share that with me? Are you gonna share that with me, honey? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, I will. Relax, man. Chill. When we go to Vancouver, I'll register for the bank cards. Chill, man. Relax. So I'm saying? Yeah. Are you gonna share your money with me? I'll share my money with you, Ivan. When we register for the cars, I'll just put my money in the same account. Yeah, they can take her money, or I don't know, her like I don't know. She has like $1.5 million in the bank. She can put that money in the joint account. We share the money, Sarah. Yeah. The book will have crazy buzz too, by the way. Not as crazy as the movie and documentary, but the book will have crazy worldwide buzz too. This is crazy, man. Worldwide fame, man. Everywhere I go, people take pictures of me and they ask me to sign their books. They ask me to take pictures of them. It's crazy for the book. Yeah, it's crazy fame. So first, I experienced the fame as a famous author, and I transitioned into being a movie star after that. I enjoy my fame as an author, and the author thing is now done, and I now start Skystar Entertainment, and now I become a famous movie star for Xanus. Yeah, it's actually funny. Yeah. Me adapting my amazing book that I wrote. Yeah. Yeah, and Cornelius is Eli's right hand man, second in command. So Cornelius is second in command in Sapphius, and he's the captain of the blacksmiths. So he's the one in charge of forging all the weapons and all the stuff. And he's Eli's right hand man. He's second in command, Cornelius. So you're gonna see Carl Urban. He's a blacksmith in the movie, and he's Eli's right hand man, obviously. Yeah. So Eli and them are all rich. Yeah, Eli and them are filthy rich. Whereas Papyri and Sirius and all them are poor. Poor compared to everyone else. They're farmers. They're not like poor like bums, but like compared to like Tactius and all them and Tacitonius and like Eli and all, they're poor compared to them. Yeah. It's like a guy who makes $50K a year. He's not poor. He's living a pretty good life, but compared to someone who makes $1 million a year, he's poor compared to that person. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. Like Eli, Papyri and Sirius have a home, but they're not like rich people, right? Like compared to Tactius and Eli. Eli has this huge house, man. He has this huge house, and he makes. I don't explain this in the book, but Eli makes his money by forging weapons for the Xanians, and they pay him for it. That's why he's so rich. I don't explain that in the book, but that's a theory, obviously. The reason why Eli is rich is because the blacksmiths in Sapphius, they forge weapons for the Northerns. The Northerns, obviously, and Eli gets paid a lot of money for that. That's why he's so rich, and he also makes money through other things. I don't explain in the book, but this is just my theory, obviously. Obviously, he's rich because of that. Samsara? Yeah. Obviously. I don't really explain why Tactics are rich in the book. Well, it's obvious why Tactics is rich. He's royalty, but I don't explain why they're rich. Eli, I don't explain why he's rich either. But one reason could be because he makes money off the weapons that he makes for the Zanes, and they pay him for it. That's why Eli's so rich. But he's not as rich as Tactics and all of them. They're royalty. That's why when you read Volume 2, they make fun of Joe. They look down on the seller. It's actually funny when you read Volume 2. With Tacitonius and Joe, it's funny, man. You're gonna laugh your ass off in that scene. It's funny, yeah. I'm saying you're gonna see John Mega in the movie. He's sarcastic. That's why he's really good. He's really good for Tacitonius because he has that sarcasticness, and you're gonna see him making fun of Annie Circus. And also, the Northerns look down on the Southerns, man. They don't like the Southerns, and the Southerns don't like the Northerns either. It's actually funny. Yeah. I have to go cash my cans after this because my fucking bank account's frozen, man. Unfreezes tonight, so I have to cash my cans. I have to walk in the snow. I need my beer, man. I need my fucking beer. So I'll take my shower and I'll go to the store, go to the Super C, and I'll cash my cans. And when I come back, I'll watch a show after you guys. Is Aratat rich? I don't mention the Aratat's wealth in the book because he's an animal, right? I don't I only talk about wealth for the humans. Aratat and them, I don't mention anything about wealth for Aratat and them. Just like the orcs in Lord of the Rings, you don't really mention anything about wealth. Whereas the people of Rivendell and Bilbo and all of them, they Tolkien mentions the wealth, but he doesn't mention any wealth about the orcs, right? And the Witch King of Agma, he doesn't mention anything about their wealth because they're not human. Yeah, it's a similar example from my book. Tolkien makes no mention of the orcs' wealth, right? The Witch King of Agma and all that. He doesn't mention anything about the orcs' wealth, but he mentions wealth about the people of Rivendell. And Bilbo got rich when he went on that journey 60 years before the events of Lord of the Rings. Bilbo became rich. Yeah. But he doesn't make any mention of the orcs' wealth. And all that stuff. Or the goblins. Because they're animals. You don't really mention the wealth for those guys, right? Yeah, the same example from my book. Similar example from my books, I'm sorry. But Aratat's powerful. He's very powerful. He's a powerful being, yeah. Powerful. Ephesus is powerful too. Yeah. So, Sarah, I talked for a good hour. I don't know, an hour and like 3 minutes so far. Yeah, I wrote a sick book, man. A lot of people talk about my book. I always talk about Skies. A lot of people talk about my book. You know. And the South has a different atmosphere than the North. Imagine applying it on screen. That's why you gotta pour a lot of money towards things. That's how you have your world of real, man. The atmosphere of the South is different than the North. The North is known as the Heavenly Kingdom. The South is known as the opposite, obviously. The Southerns call the North the Heavenly Kingdom, and every Southern's dreams to live in Xanus, obviously, but they know that the path is dangerous. There's two paths in the North. It's dangerous. I explained it earlier, right? You have the fear of the wolves, the fear of the bats, and the wild crows and the Aratat spies. As well as the Southerns know they're not welcome in Xanus because the Northerns don't like them, man. The Northerns don't like the Southerns, yeah. They don't like the Southerns. You'll see why when you read the book. I wrote a masterpiece, man. Yeah. Is Barak a beautiful place? No, it's not. Barak is a cursed place, man. Barak, Aratat lives in a pavilion tent. Like, you know, Narnia? Something like that. A big pavilion tent he lives in. Whereas Tacius lives in the castle in Xanus. Eli has his large house in Saphius. Something like that. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. Whereas Aratat lives in a huge pavilion, a royal pavilion tent. He lives there, Aratat. And all the wolves, they sleep in tents and everything. And the wolves feast on human flesh, and they eat animals. They eat like raw meat and that kind of stuff. Yeah, kind of like the orcs in Lord of the Rings. They also eat man flesh too. Remember, you shall eat man flesh. Remember in Return of the King, you saw them biting the guy's necks. Yeah, the orcs also feast on human flesh too, right? Yeah. Some So in the movie, I'll have a scene where Aratat, he takes like, I don't know, like a live rat. He just munches on the rat. In the movie, I just say Aratat in them eat raw meat and everything. But in the movie, I might make more interesting where Aratat takes like a rat and he just like munches on the rat. You know Gollum? Yeah, you know how Gollum, he just took a fish in Return of the King, he just munched on the fish? Yeah, like you see scenes when the wolves, they take like animals and they just eat the animals. Aratat takes a rat, he just like munches on the rat. In the movie to make it more interesting. Add some things to make the movie more interesting, yeah. Some Sarah? The Last Hope for Xanus, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Do you have a title for your volumes, Ivan? No, I don't. I just call it The Last Hope for Xanus, Volume 1, beginning of Volume 1, end of Volume 1, then beginning of Volume 2, end of Volume 2, beginning of Volume 3, and then the end. I don't have a title. I can't come up. I'm having a tough time coming up with a title for the book. It's tough. I have to really think about it. Volume 3, a good title for that is War in the North. But they made a Lord of the Rings game called War in the North. But I don't want to copy them, but But I can't think of a good title for Volume 1 and Volume 2. I don't know, man. I have to really think about it. Most likely for the movie, Peter will tell me, Ivy, you should come up with a title for each of your movies. And we'll eventually come up with a good title for the 3 volumes. I have to really think about it, right? As of now, I don't have a title. It's just called The Last Hope for Xanus, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. That's the format of my title for my book. So I'm saying? And once those Hollywood actors read my book, there's a reason why they're going to be envious of the Xanus, because they, oh my god, all these actors are going to be a part of that amazing journey, man. That amazing story, fighting all these demons, the horror of the demon wolves and bats, the world winning the war, and like that's telling that story. They're fucking lucky, man. Yeah, it's an amazing story in my book. I wrote a masterpiece. A book worth billions. Yeah. Even Tony, Eric Rezahaki will tell me, Ivan, did you really write that book on your own? Yeah, I did. Holy shit, Ivan, that was a good book you wrote there, Ivan. And I'm like, thanks, man. And because of this book, I made my billions off this. I now have enough money to pay you guys a lot of money. Pay Tony his $100,000, $200,000 for 2 years. Pay Eric Rezahaki their $400K for 2 years. And their $40,000 worth of bonuses. It's a good deal for those guys. Ivan, you're rich now. Yeah, I'm rich now, man. How much money did you make off your book? I'm not telling you. It's none of your business. All I'll say is I made enough money to pay you this rich contract, guys. I made enough money off my book to pay you your $200K and your $40,000 bonuses, and Tony his $100K third year, $100K fourth year. Yeah, $200K for 2 years. That's how much money I made off my book. Okay, Ivan, that's a good answer. Yeah, it's a good answer. That's a good, sufficient answer for you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Is Ephesus the main villain or Eretat? Eretat's the main villain in the movie. Ephesus is a minor character in the book. He's not the main villain. He's a villain in the movie, but he's not the main villain. The main villain is Eretat and Faful. Eretat is the main villain. Faful is also a villain too. Morale's a villain too. The wolves are bigger villains than the bats when you read the book. Yeah. So imagine Eretat and them, they're all demons and devils, and you have a 20,000 army marching, like you got for Helm's Deep, and they're demons, and you feel for us, looking at an amazing movie, and you have this huge exodus like Prince of Egypt, and we journey through the caverns, like Moria, and the demon bats all live there. Looking at an amazing movie. Volume 3, yeah. A sick fucking movie. You know, Ivan, and I showed Peter clips of Prince of Egypt and all that stuff. And Peter's like, Ivan, thank you, gave me ideas. They're all scared with torches on. I'm like, yes, when they enter the mountains? Well, yeah, Peter's like, holy shit, looking at amazing movie, Ivan. No, said, this is Brother of the Rings, Ivan. Yeah, Peter's Brother of the Rings. Well, Ivan, seriously, this is a deep plot, man. This is deeper than Lord of the Rings. Like, Lord of the Rings is just destroying the one ring. Deep plot, but it's not as deep as my book. I'm sorry. But Lord of the Rings has the better world building than my book, and it has the better dialogue and better speech. The richness of the speech in Lord of the Rings is so rich. Like, shields shall be splintered. You know what I'm saying? Ere the sun rises. My book is not as rich. The dialogue is not rich like that. It's rich dialogue, but it's not as rich as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings' dialogue is so rich, it's amazing, and the world building is amazing. But my story is richer. It's better. Because I don't spend time dumping you with like 3 pages of what the tree looks like, the grass looks like, and the sunset. I don't do that. And the horse and the armor and the door. I don't do that. Instead, I give very little vague details of what the land looks like and everything. And I describe the world building through the character's speech and perspective. That makes the story more interesting. So the character's action, their speech, what they think, what they see, how they act in that world, that makes the story more interesting. And my world building still jumps out. And even though Ivan's world building was vague, his world building still jumped out because he described the world through what the characters say and their actions. Yes, that makes your world building jump out too, and it makes the story more interesting. Because I know if I dump you with like 3 pages of info dumps, you can bore the reader. Because Lord of the Rings, I see it as a boring masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, but it's a little bit on the boring side. Not very boring, a little bit boring for me. It's like a little bit of a boring. It's like a boring masterpiece. That's why I see Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece, but it's a bit boring. Because Tolkien's writing style is crazy with the info dumps, man. He dumps you with like 3-4 pages of what the sunset, the trees, the grass, the door, the horse, Shadowfax the horse. You know what I'm saying? Lamdrill, the sword. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Yeah. The landscape, the mountains, it's crazy. And the annoying songs. The songs in Lord of the Rings are very annoying. Especially Tom Bombadil. Remember when I read you the book? Tom Bombadil will sing all these songs. And it's annoying, the songs, yeah. You think some people will like Lord of the Rings better than Xanus? Obviously, some people might be like, you know what? Even though Ivan's book was good, I still like Lord of the Rings. I highly doubt it, but I think Lord of the Rings is still better because the world building is richer and the dialogue is richer, and you have the language of the elves and everything. But I highly doubt it. I read Lord of the Rings. I compared it to my book is more interesting, man. It's more interesting, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a bit boring for me. A bit dry. I'm boring. You know. I read all 3 books. Well, I didn't finish the appendices, though. I'm going to finish the appendices of Return of the King. I'm good, like, I don't know, 80 pages into the appendices. Around there. 50 pages. I read all 3 books. I read Fellowship of the Ring 2.5 times in my life. I read it when I was in grade 5. I did a project on Lord of the Rings. I read Fellowship of the Ring in grade 5. And I reread it again. And I also read half of it when I did my read-along with you guys. So I read it 2.5 times. The first half of Fellowship of the Ring. I read the whole book twice, and the first half of it, a half, right? Yeah. So 2.5 times I read it. And then Two Towers and Return of the King I read once. What's your favorite book of the trilogy, Ivan? Where Two Towers is kind of the best one for the book. You can argue, right? Return of the King, you can argue, is better too, but I think Two Towers might be my favorite of the books. Two Towers is also my favorite of the books too. Whereas Fellowship of the Ring, people like a lot, but Fellowship of the Ring, the first half is pretty boring. It's just Frodo and them walking and camping and meeting people along the way. That's pretty much the first half of. Dude, literally, the first half of Fellowship of the Ring is Frodo and them. You have the birthday party, and Frodo and them leave the Shire. And it's just them walking and meeting people along the way, like Gildor, Glorfindel, Tom Bombadil. You know what I'm saying? And they go through the Barrow Downs, and after that, they go to the inn in at the Prancing Pony, and there they meet the manager at the inn. You know what I'm saying? And they meet Strider, and Strider tells them about the ring race and all that stuff. And after that, Glorfindel takes Frodo after he gets stabbed by the ring race through the ford. And then once after that, you have the council. The council in the book is a little boring too. In the movie, it's very rushed. In the book, it's pretty long, man. The council, right? Yeah. And once book 2 hits, that's when it picks up. When it goes through the Moria, it picks up a little bit. But I mean, Fellowship of the Ring is the worst book for me, to be honest. It's the most boring one for me. Two Towers is probably my favorite of the three books. So I like the movie Two Towers the best. I also like the book Two Towers the best. Yeah. But Lord of the Rings is not as interesting as my book. My book is more interesting, man. It's a more interesting book. It just is. Oh, hey, I'm saying, yeah. Like, when you read it, like, holy shit. Because you guys are going to be like, oh my god, Ivan's been bragging. Ivan's been bragging for what? He's been bragging for years, saying his book is so good. It's better than Lord of the Rings. It's better than Game of Thrones. It's better than Wheel of Time. It's better than Malzahn. I'm saying it's better than Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? You're excited. You buy that even for $22. Okay, let's see how good this book really is. You know what I'm saying? And you read the prologue. Oh, the prologue's pretty good. And you read Young Tackets. Holy shit, this is fucking sick. And before you know it, 3 hours go by and you're like done volume 1. You're like, holy shit, this book is sick. And you want to read more and you read volume 2. And some people might binge the whole book in 1 day. Or they binge it in maybe 3 days. They read a volume a day. And they're like, holy shit, this book is sick. This is a sick fucking book. I'm hooked reading this. Ivan is gifted. This book is better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's better than Lord of the Rings, man. Yeah, man. It's better than Lord of the Rings. And Game of Thrones and Harry Potter, yeah. It's a better book, man. And I wrote it all on my own, man. That's all me, man. All me. With no help. You know. I had to write it with no help because if I get someone to help me write it, then they're going to want 50% of my money. I don't want to. See, if I had the Gates help me write the book, then I wouldn't own all the rights because they helped me write it. But because I wrote it all on my own, I did everything myself. I own all the rights for it, and I have the keys to the game. I want to make my billions off this. It's my money, as I have found a way to make money for me and my significant other. And you're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome, yeah. Because you got Duke in Hollywood, yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Alright, you're crazy. You really think Xanus is better than the Star Wars originals? Yes, it is. Xanus is even better than the Star Wars originals. It's better than Lord of the Rings. Better than the Star Wars originals. It's better than Harry Potter. It's better than all those brands, man. Yeah, but Lord of the Rings and Star Wars worldbuilding is better than mine. Star Wars and Lord of the Rings has very deep, especially Star Wars. Star Wars, the worldbuilding is unmatched. Nothing can top Star Wars worldbuilding. Star Wars worldbuilding is so deep. It's very, very deep. It's amazing. Better than even my book and even Lord of the Rings. But the story of Xanus, nothing can top that, man. It's a masterpiece of a story. Once you read the book, it's finally hit your mind, holy shit. I can't picture any fantasy how they're coming up with a deeper, better plot than this, man. This is so deep. I'm a genius. I set the standard, man, for the fantasy genre, man. Yeah, man. But there's some people who might like Lord of the Rings better, who might like Game of Thrones better, who might like Wheel of Time better. But I highly doubt it, man. Like, all these books, when you read them, they're a little bit boring. Whereas my book is not a little bit boring. You're hooked when you read it, man. You're hooked. Because I know how to control your mind and keep you hooked, because I'm a genius. I'm a literary genius. Creative genius. So, Sarah? I'm too lazy to catch my cans, but I need my beer, man. I need my beer badly, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'll call this video Sky Source and talking about Xanus' book, how good my Xanus book is. I might call this video that. I spent like an hour talking about Xanus, right? Yeah. Now you guys understand why the Hollywood actors are really going to ever these Xanus stars. Because once the Hollywood actors read my book, holy shit! I even wrote a masterpiece, man. These actors are lucky. They're going to be a part of this amazing story. Yeah. They're going to start to picture it, yeah. If Ivan puts a billion towards this and he writes a good script and follows the book, you're looking at a masterpiece. Yeah, amazing book. Amazing movie. Earth and them Demons. I'm bringing all the demonic characters to life Tactius, Tacitonius, Cassius, all these characters of life in the movie, man. Emma. When you write more books in the future when you're king, most likely not. I'm just gonna stick to movies. I might perhaps write their league. I don't know, but my real dream is not being an author. My real dream is to be a movie star. The only reason why I wrote Xanus is I had no choice, man. The doors were locked on me. And that's the only reason why I wrote Xanus. Otherwise, I never would have wrote Xanus. Samsara. Had the doors been open on me, I never would have written Xanus. I would have been a successful actor by now, right? Actor, yeah. But Xanus is the means for me to be a movie star because the money I make off the book is billions, and now I can start my own film studio, and I can now adapt my movie. Xanus was my first movie, Samsara. The last one was Xanus. So what do they call the people in the north? The people in the north, they call them Northerns or they call them Xanians. The people of Cyrus, they call them Southerns or they call them Syrians. And the people in Sapphians, they call them Southerns or they call them Saphians. Samsara. And sometimes they call the people of Cyrus farmers. Like Papyri and all of them, sometimes they call them farmers. And, yeah, sometimes, yeah. The people in the south are called Southerns. The people in the north are called Northerns. And they're also known as Xanians. They're the Xanians. And the people of Cyrus are Syrians. And the people of Sapphians are Saphians. And they're also called Southerns, too. The Northerns call them Southerns or Saphians. The Southerns call the Northerns or Xanians. Samsara? That's what they're called. And the wolves are called the wolves of Rak, or the Master Wolves, or the Devil Wolves. Samsara? Yeah. The Devil Wolves, the Master Wolves, the Wolves of Rak. You have different names for the when you read the book. They also have like sometimes like Cassius and Tacitonians, they call Tactius Tac. Sometimes they call Tacitonius Tas. Sometimes they call Cassius Cass. Sometimes they call Lithia Lith. Sometimes they call Papyri Pap. Like Tactius calls Papyri Pap sometimes. Pap. Like a nickname, right? Yeah. Yeah, my Xanus will be his amazing book, man. Masterpiece that I wrote. As well as Xanus as a lucky man. They're going to be part of that amazing story. Yeah. So Cassius is a general of the Xanian army. He's a general. Meramis is the captain of the archers. They were both generals, pretty much, right? Cassius is a general of the entire army, and Meramis is the captain of the archers of the army. Meramis. And Baramis is the servant of Queen Sarah. Her hand servant, right? When you read the book. Yeah. Baramis is a servant, and Meramis is the captain of the archers. Cassius is the general of the army. And Tactius is the prince of Xanus, right? Tacitonius is his cousin. He's part of the royal family. Yeah. Obviously. Anne is the mother of Tacitonius. Labia is the mother of Cassius. So you have Anne and you have Labia. The mothers of Tacitonius. I talked about this in my video I made 3 years ago, right? They're the mothers of Cassius and Tacitonius. Yeah. Zeal is the father of Tacitonius. Furiel is the father of Cassius. And Tactius the first is the father of Tactius the second, which is he's a prince, he's the heir, he's a prince of the north. I'm saying, and Queen Sarah is the mother of Tachys the First, and Lithius is Tachys' half sister. I'm sorry, when you read the book, right? Hence why Xanus will be a fucking masterpiece, because yeah, man, a masterpiece. You know, Xanus has a lucky. There. Is your book long, Ivan? Well, right now on Microsoft Word on the computer, I'm at 630 pages. So, when the woman proofreads my book, if it's double spaced, my book will be about an 800, 900, 700 to 800, 900 page book around there. It's a pretty long book because it's so sick. The 700 pages or 800 pages is going to go by so fast, man, because the book is sick, man. Every chapter is good, man. It's a good book. And you're going to blow through the book, man. Just like I blew through the Anything You Can Imagine book with Peter Jackson. It was a 532 page book. I read the whole thing in like 5 days. Because it was so interesting. Yeah. Because the truth is, non-fiction books are more interesting than fiction books. Because fiction books, it's all creativity. You have to try your best to keep the reader hooked. Whereas non-fiction books, I find them more interesting than fiction books. Like non-fiction books, I can read it like the whole thing in like 3, 4, 5 days. When a fiction book, it takes me months to finish it. Yeah, because I'm not a book nerd, right? Like I'll read maybe 10, 20 pages, and after that I read it maybe 2, 3 weeks later. That's why it takes me so long to finish a book. Whereas the book nerds can read the whole thing in maybe 1, 2, 3 days. I can't do that unless it's non-fiction. Non-fiction, I can blow through the whole thing in like a week. Yeah. Are you gonna get your takeout, Ivan? Yes, I will. I'm gonna get my takeout. Yeah, when I release the book on Lulu, I'm gonna purchase the ebook and the print. I'll purchase the print, and let's see how good it is. I already read the book many times, and I read it. I'm like, holy shit! I can't believe I wrote this. This is a fucking sick book. Yeah, and I binged the whole thing in like 3 days. I'm like, holy shit! I can't believe I wrote this, man. This is a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a master of a story. Masterpiece. Yeah. I'm sorry, huh? Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get the beer, man. I'm fucking lazy. I don't feel like walking to the store. I'm lazy. I like beer with my smokes, man. Ugh. So Aratat sees you as an intruder if you enter his territory, yes. If a northern enters the south, Aratat sees you as an intruder. You're not welcome to the territory. And vice versa too. Aratat's not welcome in the north either. If he's in the northern see him as an intruder too. That's why you have this clash of kings, right? Like Game of Thrones, you have a clash of kings. And you have a lot of wars were fought at the Blood Valley between the wolves and the humans. Because you have the clash of kings. They're not welcoming each other's territory. Hence why the plot's so deep. And I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah. There's a reason why Eretz has spies, because the spies are the ones who keep watch of intruders, Northerns, right? And there's a reason why the Northerns have the Eagles, who are the watchers of the North. They keep watch for the intruders too. Yeah, that's why we're looking at masters that I wrote. Eretat's crows talk. The wild crows don't talk. The eagles talk too. The eagles are good. They're on the human side, whereas the crows are evil. They're devil crows. Imagine devil crows, demon crows, man. Look at an amazing movie. You talk and everything. Yeah, you're looking at a sick movie, man. Yeah, man. Whereas the wild crows don't talk, but the Eretat's crows talk, obviously. So I'm gonna have John Hound Al lead. Okay, I want you guys to make the crows, the wild crows and Eretat's crows look a bit different. Eretat's crows look a bit more advanced in their look because they talk, whereas the wild crows look less advanced. And Eretat's crows are big crows. They're not small crows. They're big crows. They can kill humans. They're big crows, and they're pretty powerful too. And the wild crows are pretty powerful too. They can kill humans too. They're dangerous, yeah. So, Sarah? Before I show this camera here, you have the holy ancestors of the north, that's all I'm going to say, and you have the cursed devil ancestors of the south, and they're both powerful too. So all I'm going to say, I don't want to spoil the story for you. The ancestors of the north are holy and good. The ancestors of the south are cursed devils. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll find out what I mean when you read my book. I wrote a masterpiece. Anyways, it was real, guys. I talked for a good hour and like 40 minutes around there. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'm going to upload this video, take my shower, and I'll probably go to the store and catch my cans and get my beer. And I'll ride back home and enjoy the show after you guys. This is Ivan Amir. I'm signing out. Peace, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Talk to you soon, guys. Peace. Xanus!